everyone, and welcome back to Style with Substance. I'm here again with my brother Readiness, and we are going to just do a chat video. We were talking the other day about parenthood, and we were talking about the pressures of being a young adult and being at the stage where you could potentially have kids, essentially. So our question really is parenthood for everybody? Is everyone meant to be a parent? And I don't know, we're just going to kind of talk it through how we did when we were over at my mum's house the other day. So if you like the sound of that, then please keep watching. So I don't know, I mean, I guess I'll just start with the question, like, do you think everyone is meant to be a parent? So in your opinion, Riadan, do you think every man or every young man or guy is meant to be a father? Like, do you think that there are some exceptions? Do you think that some people are just born and that's what they should do? Or what are your thoughts?
That's a tough one. Well, I think the sad answer to that is no, because some people haven't got themselves sorted out. Not completely. I don't think you can ever completely have yourself sorted out. There's always going to be things that you need to improve on with yourself. But like some of us, we don't have ourselves sorted out to a healthy extent. In that there's a lot of like, I'd say yeah, mental health issues amongst men, which are kept down to a high degree. So men have the highest suicide rate amongst the sexes. Funny enough, you'd think that it'd be the female, women, yeah. But it's actually men, and it's because like we don't talk out things as much, and so that leads to depression. And I have a little funny, what's it called, pun for depression? Well, it's not really a pun, but I sometimes define depression as deep repression. So it's a deep repression of emotions or feelings or thoughts. Because when men get in their circles, we don't really talk about their feelings. Like, if someone tries to, I don't know if anyone's ever tried to do that in your circle, men might be a bit like, yeah, man. No, just stop in it, like, just don't do that. Type of thing. But, you know, and if you're not even lucky enough to have that, it's usually just going to be a joke around type of conversation. So there's a lot of men who, I think, well, not a lot, but there's a few. Yeah, a lot. There's a lot of men who haven't got themselves completely sorted out, and so for them to be raising a child, if they're going to be emotionally absent, or they're not going to be able to have talks with them about some of their issues because they've never been able to have that conversation. However, having said that, actually, they might be able to, like, maybe having a child might teach them, like, they can learn from having the child to talk about their things.
Because that's what I was going to say. I mean, is everybody supposed to be a ready-made parent? Like, is there a point in your life where you get to, you're like, right, I'm ready to be a parent now? Or do you just ready yourself during the process?
I don't think you can ever be completely ready. Like, I don't think anyone's ever ready for a child. Even, you can want to have a child, but even the ones who want to have a child, like, yes, once you get the baby in your arms, everyone says, oh, my life is changing from here on out. But I think there's also, I don't know, yeah, I'm not a parent, but I feel like there's also a sense of, like, snap, okay, there's a lot I need to do. That, am I ready for this? And time was like, oh, okay, there's a lot more I haven't thought of. Not even just the money side of things, but just the little things like, how am I going to get him to school on time, or what books am I going to allow them to read, what media am I going to allow them to surround themselves with, and all these little things that you never think of, type of thing. So what about you though? Do you feel like?
I'm conflicted, and I always take it from a personal standpoint. Like, I think about myself and I think, was I supposed to be a parent? Was I made to be a parent? And I've always been, and I know that there are a few people, females, males, whoever, who can relate. Like, I've never really had that maternal instinct in me, I don't think. Anyway, I've never really always seen babies and I thought, like, babies are cute, don't get me wrong, but I've never really been affectionate. I've never really liked giving or receiving affection, and it's something that I've learnt over time. And when I think about kids, I think about having to help look after my younger siblings, so it's not very much. It's not exactly. It wasn't. Not that it wasn't fun, but it wasn't. It was like hard work. So I don't see it from the perspective of they're cute and you go and walk around in the park and stuff with them. I very much see it as I see the practical side of things because I saw that from, raising this one and, my other other siblings. Not raising them, but helping to.
Yeah.
So I've never seen it like that. I've always seen it from a parent standpoint and from the real standpoint. And then I think about my career as well. And as a young female, you know that if you are to have children, you have to take some time out of the working world. And that has to be something that you're willing to do. And you have to be ready basically to pause and sometimes go back and maybe sometimes even take a step back in your career. And if you're very career minded, if you're very focused on your career, then that's a tough thing to do. Yes, it is, you're almost putting your life on hold to some people for another human life.
Like men can take maternal leave too.
Well, yeah, paternity leave. That's true.
That's it, paternity leave.
That's true, but there's some things that a woman can do for a child that a man can't do. Like a man can't breastfeed naturally. Okay, you can express and leave the milk at home and stuff, but there's a bonding that goes on between the mother and child during the breastfeeding process, and unless you've got breasts, that's going to be very hard to do. You got pecs, but you ain't got breasts.
I'm sorry, pecs.
So I've always been quite conflicted. I've always thought I'm supposed to have kids. But then of recent, I've been like, why am I supposed to have kids? Because I'm a woman and because I'm of childbearing age and because it's the expected thing for me to do? Or is it because I actually want to do it? And I've very much come to the point that you need to be ready and willing to have children. Like, you shouldn't do it because you feel like it's just something that you should do or you're expected to do. Do it because it's something you want to do. In the same way you don't pick a career because your parents tell you to do it. Some people do. But I think for some people, like, their babies are their business or their pets or their, passion, writing, books, novels, whatever. What we were also talking about, like a legacy, like leaving behind a legacy.
Yeah, so there's this whole evolutionary theory of why we want to why human beings reproduce or why anything reproduces to continue their genetics. So it's kind of almost so they can be, I guess, immortal in a sense. So like you keep living, your genes live on through people. But now we were saying how, now you have YouTube. Like you said, you can write a book. You can build a sculpture. You can do architecture. You can make a piece of painting, and that's an imprint of you on something which can last for centuries and centuries and centuries. I think so. It's difficult now, like where, like there's so many places to leave your genetic footprint or blueprint or
legacy.
Something. Yeah, legacy. So what do you do? But I was saying, with a child, I feel like, but this could also be true of the other things. But I feel like with a child, there's some things that you can put into a child that you can't put into a piece of art. Or you can't put on YouTube and you can't put on, which is an extension of yourself, So, I don't know, but
I do see your point there, because it's like, with a thing, yes, you can have a connection with a thing, like you can have a passion for it, but the connection that you have with another human being is always going to be quite different.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be a lot deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that. And don't get me wrong, like, I go back and forth with this. Like, I have days where I'm like, I just want to focus on my business. I just want to, grow my channel. I want to, build a brand. And then I have days where I'm like, I just want to take a year out of work and go on maternity leave and look after my baby and, see what my baby will look like. And I get really broody. So I wonder if there are lots of other young women and men who are in this stage of conflict. And for some people, it's an identity thing, like, am I supposed to be a mother or am I supposed to be an author? Can you be both? Yes, you probably can be.
Yeah.
But your priorities would always change.
Exactly. And you could put more. But I was thinking, like, this whole having a child thing, a lot of vanity is involved in it. And so...
You think?
Yeah.
What, our generation?
In every generation. Like, the main reason why people want to have children is... secretly is going to say, I want to see what my kids would look like.
True.
I want to see how I'd be like as a parent. Yeah. I want to see, I want to impart my wisdom onto my kids. I want to do this for my children that I didn't have. There's a lot of I. But it's not bad. Vanity isn't always a bad thing. Like, it's just, like, as a human, all you are is the self. So, you're going to be self-centered. It's practically impossible to do a selfless act. But yeah, it's not a bad piece of value, but I feel like, well, at the end of the day, it's you that's going to be having the kids, so your reason is going to be coming from you.
That's true. And the funny thing is, it is about vanity, but ultimately it becomes about selflessness, because once that kid comes, it's not about you anymore. It's about providing for your child, making sure your child is fed, clothed, and develops into a functioning human being. So you very much have to put yourself to one side
to make room for someone else.
Yeah, exactly. To let someone else grow and develop and become.
Yeah, it's literally like it's a literal metaphor. You give life, like, well, more so the woman, but I'm not trying to make a sexist conversation with women, but stick with me here. Like, you give life, the male and the woman. So, but where are you gonna get that life from? It has to come from yourself. So like everyone says, oh, since I have my child, I have no life now. That's because you've given life, type of thing. Like, you've literally taken life away from yourselves. You can.
I like that.
Yeah, you can. You'll get it back, I hope.
Eventually, 25 years later.
Yeah, but you have to. I think you have to keep that in mind. You're giving the life, and then it's not like you just throw it out there and then it's all right. You have to give life, and then you have to focus on that life more so than your own type of thing. But parenthood is beautiful. Yeah. I don't know about it. I'm not a parent. I'm 18.
I think, and this video was by no means meant to put anyone off having kids or make people want to have kids. It was just we just wanted to kind of share the two sides to the story, and almost, I don't know, open people's minds to different ways of living. I am at a stage in my life where I probably could have kids, but am I ready? No. There are probably people out there who are maybe younger than me who might be ready. Like, everybody is absolutely different, and it should be a decision
will you ever be ready?
That comes down to you. Will I ever be ready? I don't know.
Will anyone ever be ready?
Nobody will ever be ready, and I think that's why, like, you hear about unplanned pregnancies, and honestly, people weren't ready, and they just really just get into the swing of it. Like, it's something that is on the job learning. Like, there's nothing. It's like an apprenticeship. Like, you can't study for it. There's no test you take. Like, it's on the job learning, and you learn everything as you go along. But maybe I will. But I think I want to get to a certain stage in my life where I feel like I want it so bad that I'm willing to put everything else on hold, because I have certain visions and certain goals in my life that I want to fulfill before I, then. I see, bringing a child into this world as a whole other, like, goal and, life almost for myself.
There's a couple main stages to life. The first is being born. The second is, I guess, growing up. And then the third is the whole career and finding a life partner thing, if that's your thing. Like, these are no bad means set in stone. But then having a child is the final one. And it's the longest. It's the longest one, and I think it's the most difficult one. So it's a big decision, because it can take away so much from your life, but it can also give you so much to your life as well at the same time. So
absolutely, people always talk about how the love you'll feel for your child is like no other love you've ever felt before. And I'm intrigued. I'm like, I just want to feel that love. That's what's giving me it.
Maybe it's like, when you make a banging dish. And you just eat. Oh,
I did that. Like, that's, there's things that I want to do in my life, but maybe being a mother will eventually be one of those things. But I don't think that anyone should feel like they have to if they don't want to, or if they don't feel like they're equipped for it. Personally, there's other things that you can do to, pour your passion into. It's not going to be kids for everybody.
Exactly.
Do you think that you will ever be ready? Obviously not now.
Yeah, not now. I'm not ready. I'm not ready now, but I think, really, I was like you in the past. I never found like the whole baby cute thing was a bit, but recently, when I think about things I had during my upbringing and things I didn't have, I think about how wonderful it would be to give those things to someone else. And I've started to realize that children are the future, and that sounds so cheesy, but I've really come to appreciate children and how they have such profound outlooks on life. So one of one of the books I was reading said children say profound things and adults say things in clarity type thing, and I think that's so true. And I don't know, it is a Vanity thing. I want to see what will my kid look like, you know. Like, will his head be as big as mine was? Type of thing. When I'm holding him with the weight down on one side. But yeah, I can see myself having children. I'd say no time soon, please God. But yeah, I'd like to have a child. I like to have a go at being a father. I feel like fatherhood is something that we need to redeem in our society, I'd say.
It's interesting. Sometimes I look at fatherhood as almost becoming a man. Like, a lot of us talk about manhood and being a man, but I don't know if you can ever really be a man until you raise a child, until you become a father, because you have to grow and you have to bring something from really within you to show an example to your child. Exactly. So maybe that could be it.
Yeah, because there's a thing in sociology called the crisis in masculinity. Kind of nonsense theory, but that because girls have been rising up now and they're working, you know, boys can no longer be the breadwinner and all this traditional stuff and blah blah blah. First of all, that's not a crisis. If you ain't working hard enough, you're not working hard enough. That's your own issue. I think the real crisis is in fatherhood, from the way I see it, because there's a lot of boys who they grow up and maybe as a child they used to hug their father, but now they don't hug their father, type of thing. Just a little thing like that, you know. You grow up not hugging your father. It's weird thinking about hugging my dad, but it's a thing where that's my father. At the end of the day, you know, I'm not shooting down my dad any chance that he's done a great job. I mean, look at me, hello. But yeah, there's a crisis in fatherhood. You know, boys and fathers don't really talk to each other, and they don't talk about how to deal with things like emotions. Yeah, you can tell him how to get a job and how to get money, but if you can't tell him how to care for himself emotionally, then this male suicide rate thing is going to keep on rising. And that's why there is a crisis in masculinity, not because we can't be breadwinners, but because we don't have emotional hygiene, because no one is teaching men how to be emotionally hygienic. And not to say that a woman can't do that, you know, they definitely can, but I feel like, yeah, it's also just as important for fathers or men to do so. Yeah.
We could go on for ages on this topic, and I think it's one of those never-ending things. But we just wanted to share our thoughts, and we just want to hear from you guys. Like, if you're between the ages of, let's say, 18 to 30, and, you know, you've got some views on this, please do comment down below. I want to hear what everybody thinks. I want to start a really big conversation around this. Parenthood, is it for everyone? Is everyone meant to be a parent? Is everyone meant to be a mother? Is everyone meant to be a father at some point in their lives? Or are some people just not built for it, not made for it? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching if you've gotten to the end. Subscribe if you haven't already. I upload on a Tuesday, a Thursday and a Saturday, and sometimes a Sunday as well if I can't get the vlog into one part. But I will be featuring lots more people on my channel. Thank you again to Readiness for joining me.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And you know, I hope you guys have enjoyed hearing what he has to say. I think he's a very knowledgeable young man, and I thought who better to have talking about this and giving a male perspective. So follow us on Instagram. I'm going to leave our links down in the description box below. I'm also on Snapchat. I have a Facebook page, so do go like it. And yeah, we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
To run you through what I'm carrying around in here on a daily basis. So if you like the sound of that, then please keep watching. So I'm just going to open up the bag and just start randomly pulling stuff out. So the first thing in here is a mascara. This is from Primark, and this is a Volume Boost mascara. I've only been using